Hello and welcome to 168 Hours. I'm your host Malak Ahmad Fayaz, and in this week's edition, we'll be covering the most significant news stories from the past 7 days. Stay tuned. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu returns to the Maldives after concluding his landmark visit to the United States for the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly UNGA. The president departed for New York on September 20th to participate in this important global event.
During his visit, President Dr. Muizzu delivered a powerful statement at the general debate of the UNGA 79, where he outlined his vision for transforming the Maldives into a fully developed nation by 2040. He also called on world leaders to hold Israel accountable for its actions in Palestine, advocating for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state, an end to Israeli aggression, and full recognition of Palestine as a UN member state. Additionally, President Dr. Muizzu addressed the UN Security Council (UNSC), becoming the first Maldivian head of state to do so since the nation joined the UN 59 years ago. In his address, he urged the abolition of veto power, characterizing it as an outdated and unjust mechanism that obstructs global peace and security. His call resonated with smaller nations that believe eliminating the veto would enhance the UN's responsiveness to vulnerable populations and better equip it to tackle global challenges. Throughout his trip, the president delivered several speeches on critical topics such as sea level rise, renewable energy, and climate change. He played a leading role in co-chairing significant side events during the UNGA 79 and held bilateral discussions with various delegations. He also took time to engage with the Maldivian community in New York. Before concluding his trip, President Dr. Muizzu spoke at Princeton University's School of Public and International Affairs, emphasizing the Maldives' growing significance in global trade, energy security, and environmental conservation. In addition, the president visited Google's main office in New York to discuss potential collaborations, focusing on the integration of AI in public service delivery, the promotion of digital literacy, and data-driven solutions for climate resilience.
Permanent representative of Maldives to the United Nations UN, Ali Nasir Mohammed, has revealed that nations have welcomed the proposals that put forth by President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu during the United Nations Security Council UNSC meeting at the 79th session of the UN General Assembly UNGA. This marks the first occasion a Maldivian president has addressed the UNSC.
In a compelling and assertive speech, President Dr. Muizzu highlighted that the veto power held by a limited number of countries often obstructs vital decisions, especially in urgent situations that demand immediate action to alleviate human suffering, such as the current crisis in Gaza. He urged that the veto system undermines the core principles of equality and justice that the United Nations upholds, enabling powerful nations to prioritize their own interests over global welfare. The president further asserted that no single country should possess the power to dismiss the collective will of the international community, particularly on issues impacting millions. He advocated for a reformed Security Council that makes decisions democratically, ensuring that all member states' concerns are represented equally and that every nation has a voice in global matters. Ambassador Ali Nasir emphasized the president's active role in diplomacy, stating that the points raised at the Security Council will be acknowledged by both the UNSC and the General Assembly members. He noted that the president's proposals will be considered during the ongoing intergovernmental negotiation process (IGN). He also mentioned that participation in these discussions presents various opportunities that will benefit the Maldives.
President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu emphasizes China's role as a reliable partner in the Maldives' development. He made the remarks during the reception held to mark the 75th National Day of China.
Speaking at the reception, President Muizzu highlighted that China has consistently been among the first to provide aid during natural disasters and economic challenges. The president described the deep relationship between the two nations as one of mutual trust and compassion, noting that it extends beyond mere transactions. President Muizzu reaffirmed that their friendship is rooted in trust, respect, and a commitment to sovereignty and non-interference, which has strengthened over time.
the relationship between the Maldives and China is built on the solid foundation of trust, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to the principles of sovereignty and non-interference. Despite the geographical distance that separates our nations, the bond of friendship has always grown stronger over the years. Our partnership, rooted in common aspirations of peace, development, and cooperation, is one that both nations cherish deeply. China has consistently been a steadfast partner in the development journey of the Maldives.
The President pointed out China's significant contributions to various housing and infrastructure projects, including the China-Maldives Friendship Bridge, which symbolizes enduring friendship. President Moise expressed optimism for increased cooperation in trade, tourism, agriculture, fisheries, renewable energy, and cultural exchange, particularly through the Belt and Road Initiative, which offers exciting opportunities for mutual growth and regional prosperity.
China's ambassador to Maldives, Wang Lixing, states China remains committed to supporting the Maldives' development efforts and enhancing the country's capacities. She made the statement during the reception marking China's 75th National Day.
Ambassador Wang highlighted the 52-year relationship between China and the Maldives, describing it as a positive example for other nations. She emphasized that this partnership has consistently benefited both countries. The ambassador noted that their collaboration has led to significant infrastructure development in the Maldives, citing projects such as the Sinamale Bridge, whereas housing initiatives and the Velana International Airport as key examples. Since President Dr. Mohammad Moise's initial visit to China, the relationship has evolved into a comprehensive strategic partnership.
The Maldives is a traditional friendly neighbor of China and an important cooperation partner of China. Since the establishment of diplomatic relations 52 years ago, despite the vicissitudes of the international community situation, China and the Maldives have always respected and supported each other, setting a good example of equal treatment, mutual assistance, and win-win cooperation among countries of different sizes.
Ambassador Wang assured that China will continue to provide robust support for the Maldives' development initiatives. On behalf of the Chinese government, she welcomed the Maldives' efforts to strengthen its economy and promote sustainable development, particularly for small island developing states. Ambassador Wang expressed confidence that relations between the two countries would deepen in new areas under President Moise's leadership. She noted ongoing collaboration in culture, tourism, trade, and human resource development, and highlighted efforts to strengthen connections between the peoples and cities of both nations.
President Dr. Mohammad Moise reaffirms that the Maldives will continue to champion humanity, peace and justice in response to its declaration of intervention in the International Court of Justice (ICJ) case concerning the violence in Gaza.
In a social media post, the President emphasized the need for Israel to be held accountable for violations of international law and urged Palestinians to uphold the rule of law and cease ongoing crimes against their people. Following cabinet consultations in January, the Maldives decided to join South Africa's ICJ case regarding alleged atrocities in Gaza. The Attorney General's office confirmed that a declaration of intervention was submitted to ICJ by Attorney General Ahmad Usham. South Africa filed the case on December 29, 2023, alleging that Israel's action against Palestinians violate the 1948 Genocide Convention. The Maldives' intervention focuses on definitions related to incitement to genocide and the duty to punish such incitement. The Maldivian government has consistently condemned Israel's action in international forums, labeling them as acts of genocide and violations of international law. During the 79th session of the UN General Assembly, President Dr. Moise described the violence in Gaza as a mockery of justice and called for accountability for these acts. The Maldives is advocating for an immediate end to Israel's actions and believes the only sustainable resolution to the conflict lies in establishing an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital, based on pre-1967 borders.
The Maldives Monetary Authority MMA introduces new regulations requiring tourism businesses to deposit their earnings into Maldivian banks to boost the circulation of foreign exchange in the country's banking system. These rules replace the foreign exchange rule and the money exchange rule that have been in place for 37 years.
The primary goal of the new regulations is to enhance the inflow of foreign currency into the banking system and increase the amount available to businesses and the public. Additionally, MMA intends to boost the foreign exchange sold in the market to support its exchange rate policy. Under the new foreign exchange rules, tourism businesses are required to deposit foreign earnings into the banking system and must register with the MMA within a month of the rules taking effect. Providers of tourism services must report their service details to the MMA by the 28th of the following month, with deposits made to authorized banks within 3 months. Category A, which includes resorts, large hotels and tourist vessels, require a deposit of $500 per tourist. Category B, covering guest houses and smaller hotels, mandates a $25 deposit per tourist. Those unable to meet these amounts can apply for permission to deposit a lesser amount. The MMA has specified that 60% of foreign exchange entering the banking system must be sold to the MMA weekly, establishing a system to ensure banks can continuously meet foreign exchange demand. This is expected to alleviate the challenges banks currently face in accessing foreign currency. Additionally, significant changes have been made to the foreign exchange and money changer regulations. New licensing requirements for currency exchange businesses include a security deposit of $50,000, and only Maldivians will be permitted to operate in this sector.
Governor of the Maldives Monetary Authority MMA, Ahmad Munawwar, says that the tourism sector currently contributes only 3% of the foreign currency to the banking system. However, the new regulations will increase the flow of US dollars into the banking system and boost the demand for the Maldivian rupiah MVR. He made the remarks during an interview with PSMNEWS discussing 2 new regulations introduced by the MMA to enhance foreign exchange circulation.
Speaking to PSMNEWS, Governor Munawwar pointed out that recent MMA data shows a sharp decline in foreign exchange entering the banking system following the COVID-19 pandemic. He said that the reduction has led to a significant foreign currency shortage in the banking sector. He said that the statistics revealed that while dollar inflows have dropped, the amount of foreign currency deposited in banks has also fallen substantially. He said that $152.5 million were deposited in 2019, but it had dropped to just $68 million by 2023, accounting for only 3% of the dollars generated by the tourism sector. He also noted that the new MMA regulations are expected to increase this figure. Additionally, Governor Munawwar said that the changes are projected to increase the tourism sector's contribution to 10% or 15%. He highlighted that both the Bank of Maldives (BML) and other banks stand to benefit from these new measures. Under the updated regulations aimed at resolving the foreign exchange shortfall, he said that banks in the Maldives are required to allocate dollars for every tourist visiting the country. He said that resorts will need to deposit $500 per tourist arrival, while guest houses in the islands must deposit $25 per arrival. Furthermore, Governor Munawwar said that the new policies will alleviate current challenges in accessing foreign currency, enabling banks to better meet foreign exchange demands. He said that MMA currently intervenes with $300 to $400 million annually in foreign exchange support. He, however, said that the central bank expects the figure to double with the new measures, allowing individuals to more easily access the dollars they need through the banks. Moreover, Governor Munawwar said that the reforms will likely affect the limits on remittances, trading and other financial activities. He also said that the banks cannot distribute funds they do not have access to.
The Housing Development Corporation HDC extends the application deadline for pocket parking zones in Hulu Male. HDC initially opened applications to lease parking slots on September 17th. As such, the corporation is leasing 1,374 parking slots across 8 pocket parking zones in Hulu Male. The slots will be available for 1-year lease at $129.7 per month. The original application period was set to close on October 1st, but the corporation has now extended it to October 10th. HDC said that applicants must be at least 18 years old and have a Category B1 or C1 vehicle registered in the Greater Mali region. The applicants must also be residents of the region. Priority will be given to vehicles registered in Hulu-Male. After that, parking slots will be allocated to vehicles registered in the Greater Mali region, excluding Hulu-Male. The allocation priority is as follows. Hulu-Male residents living in the same zone as the parking application, other Hulu-Male residents, and lastly, residents of the Greater Mali region. The parking tenants will be selected through a lucky draw among applicants in each zone. The applications can be submitted at the HTC reception desk between 900 to 1400 hours on official working days.
Minister of Education Dr. Ismail Shafiu expresses optimism in record enrollment in teaching courses this year.
Speaking at the 7th International Teachers' Conference, Minister Dr. Shafiu revealed that the biggest challenge the education sector faces is the lack of teachers. The minister stated that efforts are underway to address this issue. He disclosed that recent statistics shows that there is one teacher for every 8 students in the Maldives. As such, he revealed that while one teacher teaches 18 to 19 students in the Greater Mali region, there are 6 to 2 students per teacher in atolls. Acknowledging the hard work of teachers, Minister Dr. Shafiu expressed concern over the shortage of teachers. The minister stated that an additional 250 teachers were required who are specialized for primary grades. He also noted that the teachers specialized to teach subjects such as Islam and Divehi language were also relatively low. In his address, Minister Dr. Shafiu announced that the Maldives received a donation of $5 million to develop the education sector. The donation was provided by the Global Partnership for Education, GPE. A portion of this donation will be allocated for the Teachers Training Program, a program which has been included in the manifesto of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. The minister stated that the number of students enrolled in teaching courses have exceeded the Ministry of Education's target. Furthermore, Minister Dr. Shafiu stressed that graduates will not consider teaching as a career unless the hard works of teachers are recognized. Citing research and statistics, the minister stated that countries with the best education systems are those which recognizes and appreciates the efforts of teachers. Therefore, he urged students and parents to acknowledge the works of teachers, aiming to enhance the education system of the Maldives.
President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu officially reopens the newly renovated Sahara Mosque and Funeral Service House. The reopening ceremony took place just before Friday prayers with President Muizzu and Male City Council Mayor Adam Azim in attendance.
The project to renovate and expand the mosque and funeral house began during President Muizzu's tenure as Mayor of Male City Council. Following the reopening, the President inspected the mosque and the enhancements made to the cemetery and its courtyard. In his remarks to the media following the ceremony, President Muizzu highlighted his vision for the mosque's renovation during his tenure as mayor. He emphasized his desire to create a welcoming environment, particularly for families facing challenging times. Expressing his satisfaction with the completed work, he noted that it aligned with his original concept and aspirations. President Muizzu conveyed hope that the renovated space would serve the community well, providing comfort and convenience as intended. Deputy Mayor Ahmad Narish emphasized that this renovation will significantly improve the convenience of services and prayers for visitors to Sahara Mosque. The project has added additional funeral homes and an air-conditioned waiting area for visitors. Additionally, dedicated prayer areas for women have been developed in both floors of the building. The mosque has been expanded with 2 floors now equipped with air conditioning. Special facilities including accessible toilets for individuals with disabilities and public restrooms have also been included. The number of burial homes has increased from 2 to 3 and a new staff room has been created for both staff and congregants. Furthermore, a designated motorcycle parking zone has been established for visitors to the mosque and cemetery. The total expenditure for the renovation project was $755,240.
Minister of Housing, Land and Urban Development Dr. Ali Haider Ahmad states that the 20-year National Development Master Plan will play a pivotal role in developing the Maldives to meet the needs of residents. The statement was made by the minister during the handover ceremony of the Australia's donation, supporting the development of the plan. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu announced the initiation of a 20-year National Development Master Plan on September 17th. The President stated that the master plan is designed to provide a comprehensive framework for the long-term development of the Maldives, incorporating the voices and decisions of its citizens. He also mentioned that it was the vision and strategic plan for the national development of 2025 to 2045. The government of Australia has donated a total of $609,597 to support the Maldives in creating the master plan. The agreement pertaining to the donation was signed by Minister Dr. Haider and High Commissioner of Australia to the Maldives, David Jessup. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Dr. Haider expressed his sincere appreciation to the Government of Australia for its significant contribution in this transformative developmental initiative.
We would make sure that this will be a very inclusive and participatory process with consultations throughout the country over the next 1 year, which will bring the voices of everyone and the aspirations and the dreams of the Maldivians to a reality through this National Development Plan.
Meanwhile, Ambassador David Jessup revealed Australia's unwavering commitment to support the Maldives, particularly in important situations, highlighting that environmental issues are one of the mutual concerns of both Australia and the Maldives. The ambassador expressed interest in assisting the Maldives in its efforts to mitigate these challenges. He also disclosed that Australia will share its experience to the Maldives when drafting the master plan.
I'm very pleased to confirm the arrangements for Australia to fund a number of international experts who are going to be able to contribute their knowledge and experience to the planning process, specifically in the areas of economic development, environment and climate change, social planning, governance and spatial planning.
The 20-year master plan will be drafted after conducting several comprehensive studies. Relevant information will be collected from all islands of the Maldives separately, with special plans designated to incorporate national-level decisions in certain fields. The government aims to complete the drafting of the master plan within a year, with legal backing provided by a specially designed law. Minister of Tourism Ibrahim Faisal highlights the critical role that youth can play in the development of tourism, encouraging them to pursue business opportunities in the sector. He made the call during a panel discussion held in celebration of National Tourism Day, which included several senior tourism officials. Speaking at the panel discussion, Minister Faisal noted the government's ongoing efforts to expand tourism across the country and stressed the importance of young individuals being well informed about the sector. He also called for equal opportunities for both local and foreign investors in tourism, urging the youth to be bold, enterprising and proactive in seizing these opportunities. Tourism pioneers Hussein Afif and Muhammad Umar Manik also spoke at the event. Afif pointed out that no matter how many financial institutions are built or how many resources are provided, real progress depends on the engagement of the younger generation. Manik added that there are countless opportunities in tourism that young individuals can capitalize on, emphasizing the potential for growth. Meanwhile, Managing Director of the Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation, MMPRC, Ibrahim Shiri, noted the wide range of tourism types that could be introduced to the Maldives, including sports tourism, educational tourism, health tourism, and film tourism. He highlighted the need to establish infrastructure for film tourism and suggested organizing summer camps during the off-season to promote educational tourism. The panel also featured discussions on the challenges facing the tourism sector in the Maldives and strategies to address them as the leaders in the field explored ways to advance and expand the sector. And that's a wrap for this week's 168 Hours. Thank you for tuning in to PSM News. We'll be back next week with more updates on the most important events and developments. Have a great week ahead.